Winston Churchill, renowned for his wit and sharp tongue, has numerous anecdotes that showcase his quick thinking and humor. Here are a few notable stories that highlight his wit. One of the most famous exchanges is between Churchill and Lady Nancy Astor. The story goes that Lady Astor, frustrated with Churchill, once said to him,
"Winston, if you were my husband, I would poison your coffee."
"Nancy, if you were my wife, I would drink it."
Another well-known instance involved MP Bessie Braddock, confronted Churchill after he had a bit too much to drink.
"Winston, you are drunk."
"Bessie, you are ugly. But tomorrow I shall be sober."
Churchill's wit often extended to his political rivals. Speaking about Clement Attlee, the leader of the Labour Party, he once remarked,
"An empty taxi arrived at 10 Downing Street, and when the door was opened, Attlee got out."
A lesser-known but equally witty story is about an encounter in the bathroom. Churchill and Labour politician Ernest Bevin were using the urinals in the House of Commons. Bevin noticed that Churchill was at a greater distance from the urinal, and said,
"Why do you stand so far back, Winston?"
"Because, Ernest, every time you see something big, you want to nationalize it."
Churchill also displayed his wit in his everyday interaction. When a typist once made a mistake and apologized, Churchill replied,
"Sorry, sir. I made a mistake."
"Do not worry. You make mistakes only when you work. You never make mistakes when you do nothing."
A young officer asked Churchill for advice on how to behave around women. Churchill replied,
"If you have to ask how to behave around a lady, you don't deserve to be in the presence of one."
Churchill owned a parrot named Charlie, who had a penchant for swearing, particularly at Nazis. When asked about the bird, Churchill said,
"Charlie is a true patriot."
George Bernard Shaw, famous playwright, sent Churchill 2 tickets to the opening night of one of his plays with a note.
"Here are 2 tickets for the opening night of my new play. Bring a friend if you have one."
"Cannot possibly attend first night. Will attend second if there is one."
Once, during a meeting with Churchill, his daughter, Mary Soames, criticized a political decision he made. Churchill replied,
"I may be drunk, miss, but in the morning I will be sober, and you will still be ugly."
A young diplomat once told Churchill he found his speeches inspiring and wanted advice on how to succeed in public speaking. Churchill replied,
"The secret to a great speech is to have a good beginning and a good ending, and to have the two as close together as possible."